keeping things. If you are on the webinar and you want to click on the three dots at the bottom next to the hang up button, you can actually click on full screen and that'll make it a little bigger. And then over on the right, there is a little chat bubble on the far right corner of your screen, and you can type in any questions you have. All right, so we're going to get started. My name is Tara Kendrick. I'm here with Bill Witt, and today's topic at our SRC University Live webinar series is maximizing your Social Security. And we know this is part of a bigger picture of thinking about how to maximize your retirement. And a lot of people have questions whether they are, getting to their full Social Security age, or they're retiring and they're going to lose their income, and whether they should take Social Security now or they should wait. So this is part of our SRC University that we started. We wanted to offer retirement education to folks, that don't know a lot of information, or they're just getting too much information, and make it simple. We try to keep it to about 30-minute sessions, and it's available for your schedule, meaning you can listen to the live ones, or you also can have it available for you to listen to on SRC University. One of the great things about these topics is they're all in our book. So we wrote a book a few years ago, and you're welcome to download it on our website, srctexas.com, or you can fill out a form online and pay $5, and we will ship it to you. It's free. You're just paying for the cost of shipping. So our ultimate goal is to create a safe, secure retirement for folks. And the good thing about our school is there's no final exam. So at Senior Resource Center, we help in 4 distinct ways. We do comprehensive retirement planning. We help people find ways to pay less tax. We do long-term care planning with federal and state programs. And then we do estate planning, just making sure people have their legal house in order, and ways to avoid probate. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Bill to talk about Social Security benefits.
Thanks, Tara. Hey, appreciate everybody joining us today. We always start out with what is the problem we're dealing with. And, in our practice, we do comprehensive retirement planning. And question comes up, why is retirement planning more important today than ever before? There's really 2 reasons. One is longevity. We're living much, much, much longer. And obviously that means our money has to last longer to support our lifestyle and retirement. The second aspect of that is there's a lot of risks we face. Last week we talked about Medicare changes coming in 25, and if you don't have the right coverage, medical expense could wipe you out financially. Well, that's just one of many risks: taxes, long-term care expenses, fees, a lot of different things that we're subject to. And so we have to make sure our money lasts as long as we do. Another problem that crops up, and we see this throughout our practice, all government programs, think Social Security, what we're talking about today, Medicare, VA benefits, Medicaid, and taxes, are way too complicated. The government tries its best, but it sets up programs, and then it assumes people will just have to figure it out. And so many people are hurt in the Social Security area because they don't understand the rules, and they can make decisions that are costly over their lifetime. So this is a first phase of a 3-part series on retirement planning. The first one today, we're going to talk about ways to maximize the income you get from Social Security. Next week, we're going to talk about retirement modeling. We have some powerful software we use. It's called Retirement Analyzer, and it helps people see 10, 15, 20, even 30 years into the future where they'll be financially. And so we're going to explain and expose that so you'll understand how we do our retirement planning. And then the third piece of this puzzle is, how are we going to go about creating more income? If you look at the ads that appear on TV now, the financial ads from companies like Fidelity or Pacific Life or Fisher Investments, they all use the income word. And up until a few years ago, it was all about market growth. We want to grow your savings. Well, today, many of these companies, and we're part of this process, have realized that as we move into retirement, having more income gives people more peace of mind. I don't want to explain in all of what we're going to do next week, but our retirement planning process is really 3 simple steps. Then we build out on this. The first is we calculate your lifestyle budget in retirement. How much money do you need to live comfortably? The second one, we maximize Social Security, what we're focusing on today. And then there's usually a shortfall. And so then we talk with our clients about ways to create additional income. So think about this. If you have enough income coming in every week, every month, isn't it, then do you really care what the stock market does or what interest rates are? If you have enough income coming in, just like when you're working, you can cover your expenses and life is good. So let's delve into Social Security. Things that you need to know about Social Security. The first is you have many claiming options, not just one. And the decisions you make have far-reaching consequences because they impact not only the income you get now, but the income you'll receive into the future. The choice, if you're married, impacts both spouses. So it's more complex than what it appears on the surface where, well, I work, I contribute, and then I claim. There's a lot more to it than that. You've probably read in the press that the Social Security system needs to be reformed, and that's correct. We'll talk about that a little bit. And last but not least, Social Security does not provide financial counseling. If you go there and say, I want to sign up for benefits, they will sign you up. They won't guide you or serve on counseling. Now, many people that come in that have heard the concerns about Social Security wonder, will it be there for me in the future? And the good news is we believe it will be. Social Security has a solvency issue. It was designed back years and years ago when people didn't live as long. And because people are living much, much longer, the actuarial planning that Social Security was founded on is inadequate. So there's a number of proposals that they're talking about. Today, if you earn money and contribute to Social Security, only the first $168,600 is subject to Social Security tax. Well, what if they allowed people that made $250,000, $300,000 to contribute? That would help the solvency issue. We're going to talk about full retirement age, and you'll see that it occurs anywhere between age 66 and 67. But what if they raised the full retirement age that benefits are based on to 68 or 69? Well, this would keep the program solvent. And the third major option they're looking at is adjusting the way cost of living increases take place. So first insight, Social Security is an inflation-protected source of income. And what that means is it's adjusted. When there's a cost of living increase, they bump up the payments. And that's nice because what have we seen in the last 2 or 3 years? We went through a wave of inflation where our buying power is reduced. And so having a source of income that keeps up with inflation is really important to maintaining buying power. It's a source of income that we can't outlive. This chart shows the payouts. Let's say your benefit starts out at $2,000. It shows the total payout if you draw benefits for 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years. But it's a source of income you can't outlive. If you start drawing Social Security after about 10 years, they've paid you back everything you put in and what your employer put in, but the checks keep coming. So most people that draw benefits for more than 10 years actually get free money. And we talked about it being inflation-based and adjusted. This chart shows what if the average cost of living increase is 2.6%. This is the historical average. So in 10 years, that $2,000 benefit is grown to $2,585. If you draw benefits for 20 years, your benefit is now $2,000 is increased to $3,342. If you draw for 30 years, it's actually quadrupled. It's all doubled. It's gone up to over $4,300 on a monthly basis. That's very nice. So how much can I expect to receive? Well, your benefit depends on how much you've earned over your working career. Higher income people have a higher starting benefit. But the way the formula is calculated, actually lower income people actually derive more benefit from Social Security. Another major factor is the age at which you apply for benefits. There's early and there's delayed claiming. We'll talk about those in detail. And then third, which benefit do you claim? If you're married, you actually have three different benefits: individual, based on your own work history; spousal, where you're claiming against what your spouse is drawing or earning; or survivor benefits if a spouse passes away. We'll talk about all three of these so you can understand them. I mentioned, how are the benefits calculated? And I don't want to spend very much time on this because the calculation is actually pretty complex, but it's based on your highest 35 years of earnings. And they're averaged. And the benefits, as we mentioned, are increased each year by a cost of living adjustment. So just know the more you earn, the higher your starting benefit. When should I apply for benefits? That's a big, big question. And the simple insight here is your monthly benefit is reduced if you claim early. What do we mean by early? Each one of us has a full retirement age, and I'll explain what that is. But if you claim before your full retirement age, you start with a reduced benefit. Your benefits can also be reduced for taxes, Medicare premiums, and benefits can be withheld if you claim before full retirement age if you're working. So what are the factors in deciding when to apply? Well, a big one is health status and life expectancy. If you have medical conditions that say that you're probably not going to live into your 70s, 80s, or 90s, claiming early might be the sound decision. Get more money before you go to heaven. Another factor is the need for income and whether or not you're planning to work after you've claimed Social Security. We'll talk about how it's adjusted if you are working and you claim before your full retirement age. And then there's spousal and survivor needs. These are very important. If you're married or you are the survivor of a marriage, we'll talk about the options you have for claiming. So I mentioned full retirement age. How do you calculate it? Well, most people today are, as they near retirement, their full retirement age is most likely 67. But I was born in 1948. My full retirement age was 66. And you can see that it's increased year by year, 2 months over the time period from 1955 up to 1960. So we talked about early benefits. Let's focus on the right side of the page. That let's say your full retirement age is 67. If instead of claiming at full retirement age, which is 67, where I get 100%, what if I claim early as 62? You can see that I start out with only 70% of what the benefit would be at age 67. That's a significant reduction. When you start with a smaller amount, it will stay smaller the rest of your life. So once again, claiming early reduces the benefit. And you can see it gradually steps up year by year as to what the penalty is for early claiming. But what if I claim after full retirement age? This is where there's an opportunity actually to maximize the lifetime payout. You'll notice on the right side, if I claim at 67, I'm getting 100% of my benefit. But every year I delay up to age 70, there's an 8% of additional delayed credits. So if someone is able to wait till they're 70 to claim and their full retirement age is 67, they actually start out 124% of what they would have gotten at age 67. Now, this doesn't include cost of living, so the gap could be much, much larger. If you get a copy of our book, there's a very interesting chart in there. This chart shows the cumulative lifetime payout based on when you claim your benefit. And it doesn't matter whether you claim it at 62, 67, 70. What you'll notice is the three lines cross around age 78. So by delaying, I get more money. And a common question we ask our clients when they're coming in, do you think you'll live past 78? And if they go, well, yeah, my mom and dad lived into their 80s or 90s, more than likely they're going to live past 78, and you get more money by delaying. By claiming early, you get more checks, but the checks are smaller. So this is an important decision process. If you think you're going to live past 78, the longer you delay, the more lifetime benefit you're going to receive. So how can I maximize my benefits? That's a broad question. First, we always suggest go to the Social Security website, ssa.gov or socialsecurity.gov, and print out a current statement. And what the statement shows is the earnings that you had listed by year. And each year there's a different threshold as to how much of a person's income is subject to Social Security tax. You want to make sure that your report has all of your earned income. Is it accurate? Are there any missing years? If you're self-employed, sometimes those numbers don't get reflected from the IRS over to Social Security. So printing out the report is a great place to start to figure out if all of your records are accurate. And then an important question is, can you improve your payout or your history by working longer? I'm 75. Earlier this year, I got a wonderful surprise. I got my regular monthly Social Security check, and then I got another very substantial check, over $10,000. And I thought, wow, this is too good to be true. But I called into Social Security and talked to a nice lady. She pulled up my work history and said, well, by working years beyond when you claimed Social Security, you've improved your earnings history, and therefore we're paying you going back to 2018. That was a nice surprise. What if you're working? Well, I mentioned that if you're working and you apply for benefits before your full retirement age, you can get a reduced benefit. In the years leading up to full retirement, the year before full retirement, if you earn over $22,320, for example, in 2024, for every $2 above that limit, they're going to take $1 of your social away. So what does this mean? High income people, Michael Dell, Bill Gates, if they applied at age 62, 63, 64, and were earning substantial money, they wouldn't receive any Social Security benefit because they earn way above this 22,000 threshold. Now, the last year before full retirement, let's say my full retirement age is 67. So the year that I turned 66, in that year, they raised the limit up to $59,520. And for every $3 above the limit, I have $1 taken away. Now, if you do claim early and they take some of it away, it's not lost, because when you turn full retirement age, Social Security will do an analysis and go, well, we didn't pay you. So it's kind of as if you didn't claim early, and they will adjust your benefit. To avoid the earnings test, the simple answer is wait until full retirement. Once you're full retirement age, you can earn as much as you want, and there's no offset. So at 68, 69, 70, you can earn as much as you want, and they don't take a penny of it away. What about taxation? Well, this is an area that surprises some folks. You know, when they created Social Security, when President Roosevelt created it back in the 1930s, it was tax-free income. And that was wonderful. Whatever you received, you got to keep. Well, in 1983, President Reagan, realizing that Social Security was underfunded, allowed up to 50% of our benefits to be taxed depending on what our gross income is. President Clinton upped that to 85% in 1993. So, and here's where this chart is rather interesting. You know, our tax tables, every year they raise the numbers, but the numbers on this page don't ever change. So if your provisional income, that's half of your adjusted gross income, plus half of your Social Security benefit, plus any tax exempt interest you get, puts you in one of these categories. In the case of being married filing jointly, if your provisional income's over 32,000, up to 50% of your Social Security benefit is subject to tax. What if that number is over 44,000? Well, then up to 85% of your benefit is taxable at whatever tax bracket you're in. So this surprises people. People thought, well, gee, I get to keep my Social Security. Unfortunately, not everybody does. But there is income planning we can do to try to reduce this, and we help our clients with that. When to apply for benefits? Well, here's the important points. If you apply early, your benefit starts lower and will always stay lower. And cost of living adjustments magnify the impact. What do I mean by that? Let's say your benefit is $2,000, or you wait until full retirement and it's $2,500. When you index those two numbers for a 3% increase in inflation, the 2,500 number is growing faster. When you start with a bigger number, it grows faster. So the gap widens over time. Also, if you're married, it's important to realize delaying benefits may leave a higher surviving benefit for your spouse. We'll talk about that. So for couples, here's a simple rule. The higher income earning member of a couple should always delay their benefit as long as possible to maximize lifetime benefits. The less earning spouse can claim early. It doesn't have a significant impact, but the primary breadwinner should always delay benefits as long as possible to get the maximum benefit for themselves and for their spouse. If you're a guy and you're working and you delay, you're not only going to get more over your lifetime if you're the primary breadwinner in the family, but you're going to leave a much bigger benefit for your spouse. So let's talk about spousal benefits. We've been talking about individual benefits based on your own work history. What are spousal benefits? Well, that's where a spouse can claim one half of the primary worker's earnings if started at full retirement age. So let's take a simple example. John has a earnings forecast of $2,000 when he claims. Jane's benefit is only $800. But if Jane waits till her full retirement age and applies for benefits, they're not going to pay her the $800. They would actually pay her $1,000, 50% of John's benefit at full retirement age. So when you go to Social Security, they should know this. They should automatically say, gee, Jane, you have a choice. You can get the higher amount, and they will offer you the higher amount. That's a good thing. What are the rules for spousal benefits? Well, the primary worker must have filed for benefits. So let's say in our past example, John hadn't filed for benefits yet, and John's at full retirement age. Jane can't file for spousal until John files for benefits. The spouse that's claiming must be at least 62 for reduced benefit or the full spousal benefit at full retirement age. And there's no advantage for John claiming after full retirement age. His benefit will continue to go up, but on spousal, it stops at the full retirement age. You don't get credit for claiming spousal by delaying after the full retirement age. What if you're widowed or divorced? Well, you may be eligible for another benefit. We talked about individual, we talked about spousal, but there's also survivorship benefits. So if you're a survivor in a marriage, or you're the divorced survivor in a marriage, you have the rights to survivor benefits, divorced survivor benefits, or divorced spousal benefits, and that can increase your monthly check. So here are the two factors that control the survivorship benefit. First, it's based on when the original claimant claimed their benefit. If they claimed early, they started with a smaller benefit, and claiming spousal or claiming survivorship is going to be based on that reduced benefit. If they claimed at age 70, they're maximizing what they're getting, and then it sets the table where the surviving spouse can claim that survivor benefit. To get the full survivor benefit, the surviving spouse needs to claim at full retirement age. If you claim before, once again, claiming early always reduces the benefit. If a spouse dies while both are receiving the benefits, the widow or widower can switch to the higher benefit. So here's a simple example. Joe and Julie are married, both are over full retirement age. Julie's benefit is $2,000. Joe's benefit is only $1,200. Julie dies. Well, when you notify Social Security that Julie has passed away, Joe is automatically going to step up to the higher of the two benefits. So once again, this is where the primary breadwinner wants to delay as long as possible to max what they get. But they also then, if they go to heaven, they leave a much bigger benefit for the surviving spouse. What are the rules for survivor benefits? Well, the couple has to have been married for at least 9 months unless the death is accidental. The survivor must be at least 60 for a reduced benefit. So you can claim survivor benefits as early as 60, not age 62, but you get a reduced benefit because you're claiming early. The survivor benefit is not available if the widow or widower remarries before age 60. So let's take a couple where one spouse dies and the surviving spouse is 58 and they want to remarry. When they remarry, they give up rights to claim against that survivor benefit. They now are tied to their new spouse. Sometimes we have to advise clients that are nearing age 60, maybe it's better to live in sin for a few more months to get past age 60, where you then have the ability to choose which spouse you want to claim benefits against. This is confusing, but we have answers, so just come see us and we'll try to explain it. A divorced spouse survivor benefits are available if the marriage lasted at least 10 years. Once again, if we have a couple that's thinking about severing ties and they're in the 9th or 9.5 years of marriage, by just delaying the divorce for 6 months can open up a survivor benefit for the other spouse. What are the rules? Well, the marriage had to have first, divorced, spousal, or survivor benefits. The marriage had to last 10 years or more. The person receiving the divorced spouse benefit must be currently unmarried. The ex-spouse has to be at least 62, but they don't have to be on claim. To claim spousal against a current spouse, the spouse has to be claiming benefits. That's not true in a divorced situation. The ex-spouse has to be at least 62 and eligible for Social Security, but they don't have to be claiming it. And if the divorce was more than 2 years ago, the ex-spouse does not need to have filed for benefits. I just mentioned that. So what can Social Security do and what can't they do? Social Security, let me say this, they never make a mistake. We've had clients that go there, they claim a benefit. 3 or 4 years later, they get a nasty letter saying, we've overpaid you and we're going to reduce your go-forward benefits until you've settled up. So Social Security never makes a mistake. They can estimate your future benefits based on your work history, and they can tell you the amount you're entitled to right now, but clearly they don't know what your future work history will be, and they don't know what cost of living will be. What can't Social Security do? They can't project future benefits through a planning scenario, and they don't help with some of the more innovative strategies designed to maximize benefits. Said another way, if a couple goes to Social Security and let's say the primary breadwinner is 62 and says, hey, I want to claim my benefits. You're never going to hear a Social Security helper go, do you realize you're going to start with a smaller benefit, which will reduce what you get, and your spouse, if they survive you, will also be limited to that lower benefit. They'll just say, sign here, we're signing you up. So they don't advise or counsel. When I think of Social Security, you have to kind of put it in position with other sources of income that may be available in retirement. Some people have pensions. Some people are going to draw against IRAs or 401ks. all of us, if we have an IRA or 401k, have to start taking required minimum distributions at age 73, whether we want the money or not. We might have an investment portfolio that's generating some income. And last, some people continue to work into what would be retirement. So Social Security is just one source of income. And as I mentioned earlier, we're going to talk in the next 2 weeks about ways to maximize other sources of income in retirement so that you're cash neutral and don't have to rely on a successful stock market or high interest rates to make retirement planning work. Let's talk about a couple of quick studies just to give you an idea of how claiming affects people. Here's Susan. She was a real life client. She was 62 and was thinking about claiming Social Security, but she was also still working. And we said, well, you can claim at age 62. Your full retirement age is 67, and the full retirement age benefit was projected to be $2,500. So we have some powerful software that we use, and we went through and said, what if you claim at 62? That's scenario number 1. What if you claim at scenario number 2 at age 67? Or what if you're able to delay until age 70? And what you'll see in the far right column is the cumulative lifetime benefit. And here's the difference. If Susan had claimed at 62 or waited till 60 or till age 70, there's a $309,000 payment differential. By delaying till age 70, she gets a lot less in the early years, but she gets over $300,000 additional income over her lifetime. That's a big, big increase. Most of us could use an extra $309,000. Well, what about couples? This is another real life example. Roy and Jill, both were age 64. Roy's benefit was at $2,790 at full retirement age, and Jill's was projected to be $762. Now here we added another factor in. We figure Roy will live to 85, and Jill will probably outlive Roy till age 90. Once again, here are 3 different scenarios. What if Roy and Jill both claim at age 64? What if they both claim at age 66? Or what if Jill claims at 66? She's the lower earning breadwinner, and Roy waits till age 70. Well, once again, a substantial difference. Over $270,000 of additional income coming to Roy and Jill, and a lot of it in the last 5 years of Jill's life if she lives to age 90. I know that, most of us want to protect our spouses, and so it's important that if you're the primary breadwinner, to understand how Social Security works to maximize not just what you get, but also what you leave as a gift to your surviving spouse. We offer a process that a lot of people like to take advantage of. It helps them figure out what is the maximization analysis. If you're single or married, let's look at options. Let's figure out what are the strategies to maximize your lifetime payout so that you're able to have more money to spend in retirement. Well, we covered a lot, and as Tara said early, there is no exam. The good news is we're happy to have meetings and set up a chance for you to ask questions based on your own specific situation. So Tara, do we have any questions?
I don't see any questions for anybody, but you're welcome to type in anything if you have any questions. As always, again, actually, let me see if we can unmute if anybody has some live questions they would want to ask. So, if you want to turn on your mic, you're welcome to ask us a question.
And if not, remember, the book is available on our website. Download for free a PDF. We do charge a hefty $5 shipping and handling because it cost us $4.63 just to put a book in the mail. But we're happy to mail out a copy as well if you like having a printed copy in your hands.
And this will be, again, it'll be on our website if you want to listen to it again or share with friends or family. And then next week, same time, same place, we will be having our next part of our Social Security conversation.
We're going to actually show you the software we use It's kind of like time travel. We give people a window into their financial future and say, based on spending, based on income sources, based on performance of investments, here's where you'll be based on taxes and inflation 10, 15, 20, maybe 30 years into the future. It's kind of nice to know where you're going to be in the future so that if it's not where you want to be because your spending is going to deplete savings, you can make small adjustments now to improve that financial outcome.
So with that, we thank you very much for joining us, and we hope you have a wonderful week.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
We had 3 on there.
Another stellar job.